One of the things that we really hope to do in highlighting this innovative practice is to really kind of give you a pathway of lessons learned. As you heard Seth talk about earlier, this has been a multi-year process. And so we thought that we would share some of the things that we learned in terms of recommendations for somebody else at another state comprehensive university who may want to uh, do innovative academic programming for military connected learners and best practices. And so we did, in combination just from experience and also from some of the primary research that we did, that we shared with you in the link in this presentation to our article, as well as some of the other research that was done. We wanted to make some specific recommendations for best practices if you're considering doing something like this at your university. And so, a couple of things that we concluded. One thing that we found, there's two things that are simultaneously true when serving military connected learners, and that is that research is either sparse or incomplete, contradictory, and sometimes ungeneralizable because it's not clear whether or not what the overlap is between some of the populations that are studied between adult non-traditional civilian learners and military connected learners, because that Venn diagram of those populations really do overlap. And so trying to deconstruct that a little bit to figure out what are some of the specific needs for those two distinct populations, and then where does that overlap occur. And so military connected learners are not a monolith. They are also, as diverse as other adult and non-traditional civilian students, but there are some broad generalizations that apply. And so we wanted to make some specific recommendations for other people who might be following a similar path. So one of the things that we really recommend is a single point of contact upon entry. You heard Seth talk about that just a little bit, and that you really want to have veterans on staff as well. You need people that are not just knowledgeable about military programming, but can really talk the talk and walk the walk when it comes to understanding military training, military vernacular, just the military culture, and how to navigate those bureaucracies, quite frankly. And so centralized support services should really be offered by veteran staff. You should also make sure that you have some peer support networks like the Student Veterans Association, but also other informal networks, that maybe even cohort programs that allow military connected students to be in classes with other military connected students as well, and maybe even some co-curricular events for those who are interested in doing that. You also need to make sure to really set some robust program evaluation processes from the very beginning, and really dive into the academic motivation and what their goals are, what their expectations are, to help manage those throughout the program, and also really get to know what their perceived challenges and possible barriers to conclude to actually earning a degree, so that they can persist and you can retain them from the time they start all the way through. So robust evaluation mechanisms, making sure that you do continuous improvement processes, and really understanding some of the enrollment management and data driven factors, and really monitoring that along the way is something that would be really, really important. And for those of you who are interested in studying military connected learners, there's just a wide array of possibilities for you in terms of future research. And so anyway, we hope that you have learned some things from our presentation. And if you would like any more information about any of this, we have a contact as the next slide. And that also has links to our website and to the director of the Transfer and Military Center, as well as Seth and myself. So hope you have a great rest of the conference.